Hi friends! We are going on another Quirky Monday Gallivanting adventure today. I'm going to the marketplace for the Fantasy Fiber Retreat, I think it's called. But it's down by Disney, and I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna squish some yarn, and I'm gonna take you with me. So, before we get on the road to Disney, I need to get some coffee and get some gas, because I can only imagine that gas down by Disney is going to be ridiculous. So, but first, coffee. So I've gotten my coffee, and I am the worst coffee carrier. I believe it. I got in the car, I put it in the cup holder, I took the lid off, I said let me stir it up, make sure it's good, and then I started driving and didn't put the lid back on. So now there's coffee spill in my car. Good thing I'm supposed to be washing the car at some point this week. Okay, so I made it to the convention center that this retreat and market is held in, and in true Kalisha fashion, I drove onto the property, and you can turn either left or right. I decided to turn right because why not? And drove around the entire property, like the whole thing. It was probably like a mile and change around, only to discover that where I needed to be was right next to the entrance if I had turned left. So I'm all behind this property, like, I don't think this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm looking on their Instagram, trying to see if there's directions. There aren't. So I start getting all stressed out. I'm like sweating, like, but I made it! Hooray! And you wanna know how I knew I made it? That is the Four Pearls yarn truck. I think I might need to take off this. It's not even, this probably shouldn't even qualify as a sweater, but I feel like I'm gonna die. Alright guys, I'm done shopping. I did like I normally do. I touched all the things, and people kept coming up to me asking, like, do you need any help finding anything? And I'm like, no, not yet, thanks. So it's just like me silently walking around their marketplace area. And they had a lot of really nice yarns. There was La Bien Aimée, which I wanted to purchase like a skein simply for the novelty of it being from France and not sold in the US and everything like that. But the price tag was a lot of bit out of my budget. Yeah, so I touched it and I took a picture, so that's about the same, right? So I went in with the idea of getting a like Christmassy yarn, like straight up Christmassy, right? And because the last Christmas yarn that I bought, the way it knit up, it had one red sock and one green sock, which isn't what I wanted, but whatever. So I got this, And it is String Theory Colorworks. It is the Orbit base, which is 80/20 superwash merino nylon. It has a higher twist, which I am learning I really like. This brand also called out to my nerdy heart because the colorway is called Christmas Tree Nebula. So yeah, they had all kinds of different like science-based names for the colorways, which I thought was super cute. And this is going to stripe up 8 rose green, 3 rose white, 8 red, and 3 white. So it's gonna go back and forth like that, which I really liked. It also has a little what do you call it? Stitch marker, which I thought was also really nice. Stitch marker matches the yarn, so obviously I'll have to use that somehow on the socks that I knit. But yeah, this is really the only thing that I went in there looking for specifically was a Christmas sock yarn. They had another one that was, instead of the white, had black, and I wanted to buy that one, but I did not because I already have a pair of red, black, and green Kwanzaa socks. So now I wanted like a Christmas sock. So these will be that. I'm really excited about it. Huzzah! I also wanted to find like any mini skeins, but they didn't have any in there. There were a couple other like brands that I liked, but nothing that made me want to put this down and pick that up. So, and I thought about buying two skeins of yarn, but you know, my purse strings were tapping me on the shoulder like, be a responsible adult. So I did. Hooray! Christmas yarns! So I'm going here. Orange World. Welcome to Florida. Take some home. That's what their building says. I figured since I was already down here in touristy area, I would hit up a couple of these gift shops. Because why not? This is about the most ridiculous building I've ever seen in my life. But that kind of makes it a little bit awesome. Right? Right? When you think you make it through the day with no shenanigans or weird stuff happening to you, then it happens. So you can kind of see this building in the back is a flea market. And as I'm driving down the road after I left Orange World, I was like, oh look, a flea market. I'll check it out. So I go walking through the first building, and I'm the worst when it comes to like flea markets and stuff, or like people selling things. Like if they approach me and they're like, hey, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, what do you want to say? So I get wrangled by this lady with the hair oil, and now my hand smells funny. Still smells funny. It smells like, ugh. Anyway, so I get away from her, and then I go into the next building. And as I'm walking down the way, I'm just looking at things. Now, when I'm in situations like this, I tend not to make eye contact because that's like an open door for you to talk to me. And I walk with my hands behind my back or like together so that you, like, very closed off, closed body language. This guy I'm about to tell you about was not even taking any of those cues at all. And it may have been because there was nobody else in this area, so he's like chilling by himself. And he's like, hey, and he's got like this little packet thing. It looks like one of those like cold, hot plastic packet things. He's like, hey, look. And I'm like, no, thank you. He's like, no, come here. Now let me paint you a picture of this guy. He's like got like kind of like a pinstripe suit on, like a blue tie, and like greasy, like salt and pepper hair. It's like this long. It's like shifty looking guy. So he's like, come here. Look at this. Just look at this. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I go over to him, and he's got the little packets like this big. He's like, you see? Feel that, room temperature. He puts it in my hand, room temperature, and then he clicks a little thing in, and like it starts like solidifying, and it gets hot. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And he's like, yeah, see, it's getting hot. Science. I'm like, okay. And then he goes, oh no, my phone is flashing at me. Hold on. Okay, so the guy's like, science. And so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. Thanks for showing me that. And he's like, well, you know, let me show you this one. And he's got like one that goes over your shoulders. And I was like, that's nice. And he's like, come try it. I'm like, that's all right. He's like, no, come try it. So he comes around his table and puts it on my shoulders. Now, mind you guys, it's Florida. It's November, but it's still hot outside. It's like a good 70-something degrees outside right now. And it's hot in the buildings. I'm sweating, and he puts this hot thing on my shoulders. And I'm like, ha, it's too hot for that. And he's like, you're not gonna get away that easy. So then he's trying to convince me to try on this one that goes around your waist. And I'm like, no, that's okay. And he's like, come, put it on. I'll put it on you. No. So I'm standing there with my coffee, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like easing away, and he goes, you wanna hear something cool? Sure. Why not? So he starts talking about how he's doing like comedy videos for kids who play video games or something like that. And he's like, yeah, no one else my age is doing this, and they're not doing it the way I'm doing it. And I was like, all right, yeah, that's great. You find your niche and you just keep at it. All right. You just keep at it. Okay. All right. Bye. And now, mind you, I'm standing there with my coffee, and he goes, yeah, you want to get a coffee? No, you want to get another coffee? No, I don't need that much caffeine. Thanks. You have a great day. And he's like, it's not about the coffee. It's about the combo. Come on. What? Bruh. I was like, it's not about the coffee. It's about the combo. Come on. Who argued? So I was like, and just walked away, and he's like, bye. Creepy dude. What? Why do these things happen to me? This is why I need like a gallivanting buddy. Like, I need somebody, I need a designated gallivanting buddy, like with a I don't know, emergency help word. Tomatoes! Like, something. Because, really? And I wish that I had, like, secretly been able to videotape this, because his face was just like, you want to get another coffee? It's not about the coffee, it's about the combo. Just like what's that word? Like when somebody talks to you and it makes you want to like take a shower. That was that guy selling the hot packs in the flea market. I'm going home. That is the end of Quirky Gallivanting for today. When you see someone obviously making a poor choice with their life, dude, those things could take your eye out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.